Hello guys, can you hear me well?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
alhamdulillah. Okay, I will share my screen now. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. We are missing a lot of people today. Is there a problem with them joining us, or they are sleeping?
Joining.
Okay. So we'll wait just for a couple of minutes for them to join us. Okay. Okay. The online session, the online students, there will be a video, inshallah, uploaded this week also. Okay. Today we'll start a new lesson. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start now, guys. Hope you can hear me well. If you have any problems, just tell me, and I'm gonna stop and repeat everything again. Okay. So how are characteristics inherited? Like how do we get the features we have, like having brown hair, having um, dark skin or light skin, blue eyes, brown eyes, if we use our right hand or left hand in writing, how do we inherit those? What do we mean by inherit? Can someone guess?
Miss maybe inherit means how our character is in our
Yes. What are you saying, Am?
Miss, I think inheriting mean how our characteristics are like.
Like?
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's a thought. Let's take another guess. What about you, Am? What were you saying?
Miss. I'm saying that the opposite of him. I think it's different.
Inherit mean different?
Maybe.
Okay, we are just taking the guesses. Okay, who else? Yes, look.
That's like similar things you have, like the same things you have taken from your parents.
Okay, well done, Look. Yes. Aysel, what do you think?
How are people different?
How are people different? Okay, so those who said how are people different, things we take from our parents, well, we can consider both of you guys right, but inherit means to be passed to us from our parents. Things we take from our parents, traits we take from our parents, okay? Like, let me move my slide. So if you looked at your friends, you will see that some of them look exactly like their parents. Others, have some similarities. Um, they don't have to be exactly the same, guys. Okay, you don't have to be like 100% similar to your mother or your father. Okay, but you can still carry something from them, like maybe the color of your skin, the color of your hair, the texture of your hair, if it's smooth, if it's a curly one, if you have dimples. So these are called inherited traits. Okay, so what do we mean by inherited again? To be passed to us, or the traits that are passed to us from our parents, that our parents give to us. Okay, like dimples, for example. So you can go count how many people in your family have dimples actually. Okay, if you found someone that have dimples, okay, go ask him if his parents, one of them has dimples, or maybe both of them have dimples. Okay, do you know what dimples are?
Yes, yes.
Yes, this small, beautiful, kind of a hole shaped structure in the cheeks that appears when someone smiles or laughs. Freckles. Do you know freckles? These dots, this pigmented dots on the skin.
Yes.
This is also a trait. It's passed to us from our parents. So this beautiful girl, she carries a lot of freckles. It must be one of her parents also carry these freckles. Maybe both of them have freckles. Okay? How to rule our tongue. How to rule the tongue. Remember that? Guys, we tried to do this
Um,
in the physical session on
Yes.
Thursday. Yes. So a lot of people can rule their tongue, by the way. A lot of people can rule their tongue. Do
yeah.
you know that? You
No.
can try this, and you can ask your parents to try to say to see from which parent did you inherit this. Did you inherit it from your father? Did you inherit it from your mother? Maybe both of them carry the same trait. Okay. Having an attached or free ear loop. Can you guys see the difference?
Yeah.
No.
Yes. An ear loop is this one in here. Let me put a mark on it or something so you guys can see the difference. So in here, you can see a big difference. Can you guys see? And on in the picture on the left, you can see how her ear loop is attached to her cheek or her face. But on the right one, you can see there is a gap or space between the ear loop and her face. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Yes, so the one on the right is called free ear loop. It's called free ear
Mm,
loops, okay? While the one on the left is called an attached ear loop, okay?
okay.
Okay, let's move to the next slide. Being right-handed or left-handed. Using your right hand or left hand is actually an inherited trait. You get this trait from your parent. It could be from both of your
Yeah.
parents or one of them, okay?
My brother is left-handed, but my mother told him to write with his right hand.
So did he try to change it or he couldn't?
No, he always now write with his right hand, not the left.
Now he
He
uses
can,
his right hand?
yeah. Sometimes he uses both.
Use both. That's great actually.
Yeah.
They say people that use both hands, both of their brain loops work together. And both of his brain halves work together. That means he's so intelligent. Okay. So in the old times, people used to think about traits like something we can mix together. For example, if I wanted to have a strong horse with a fast ability, maybe I should breed. Breed means يعني to get a male and female horse to get married. Okay, that means breeding. So they thought maybe if we breeded a strong horse with a fast one, like a strong male horse, a boy yani, with a female fast horse, their offsprings will carry both of those traits, that they will be both strong and fast. Okay? But people did not understand anything about these traits. They just thought they are mixed together. So that's why farmers used to breed horses with desirable traits. Desirable traits means that these are the traits they want the young horses to carry. Do you guys get this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes. They
yes.
what?
They mix.
Yes, they kind of mixed the traits. They thought that if we breeded two flowers, one purple flower and one white flower, we will get a lavender flower.
Why?
Yes, like a black-skinned man marries a white-skinned woman, they will get children with, this color of a milk tea.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, this is not right. It's not done this way. It does not happen this way. It's like they are not traits that are mixed. No. Traits are controlled by factors, certain factors, okay? That
What
some
is
of them can
factors?
appear in the offsprings, others cannot. So we have this great scientist. Your friends in grade 6 are studying about this man too, by the way. So you share the same lesson, but they study them with more details. So this scientist is called Grigor Mendel. As you can see, he was a monk. Okay, he left in in church. Like he used to, uh, care about plants a lot because he had a garden. Okay, so he was really interested about these traits. He found out that some plants are tall, others are short, some with purple flower, others with white, others with yellow. So he was interested on how these plants get these traits, how some of them are tall, others are short, how some of them, grow big fruits, others grow small fruits. Okay,
Okay, miss.
because traits are also passed in the plant, guys. Okay,
How? How does the plants have traits?
being tall or short, having rounded or wrinkled seeds. That means these are traits. Just give me a minute, okay? Guys, please excuse me for a minute, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
miss.
Okay.
Yes, miss.
Can you hear me well
Okay.
now? Yes, so
Yes,
Amr,
miss.
Yes,
as
we
you
can hear you.
said, how plants carry traits. They
I
do
said
carry
that.
traits. You
Not
can see
Ahmed.
different plants with different colors and different heights. You can see them with different fruits, how some of these fruits are rounded and shiny, others are not. All of those are traits. Okay, so traits are not
Okay.
only passed in humans or animals. Okay,
Okay, miss.
okay. So, as we said, Grigor Mendel was interested in these traits, how traits are passed from one parent or two parents to their offsprings, all babies. Offsprings means, the young ones. So, he chose to do an experiment on the pea plant, okay?
Okay,
Why
miss.
did he choose to do it on a pea plant? Because he had two types of pea plants in his garden. He had a tall pea plant with a purple flower and a short pea plant with a white flower. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. One of those, like the tall plant, used to produce a yellow pea. Can you see?
P.
Yes, the other
Yes.
one produced a green one.
Green.
One was rounded, one was wrinkled. So you can see obvious changes, or I'm sorry, obvious differences between both of them. Can you guys see?
Miss,
Yes.
but the tall plant is better than the other plant.
Well, some people will not eat a yellow pea, so there's none of them is better than the other, but just they are different. Can we say that tall people are better than short ones?
I
No.
didn't say that.
No, no, I know, but yeah, can we say that? No,
No.
No.
traits are not, better than the other. We cannot like say that some traits are better than the others because they are plants and both of them produce seeds. But one of them have different traits than the other. One of them have different features than the other. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Miss, what is the last thing? Flower position.
Terminal or axial. Like you can see the flower growing at the end of the leaf. The one is not. Can you see it?
Yes.
It's about the possession of the flower itself. But
Okay,
you
thank
don't
you.
have to learn about all these differences. All you need to know is that Mendel chose to do his experiment on pea plants because one, they showed distinctive features. They showed different features, different characteristics. One of them was tall, the other was short. So it's an obvious differences, okay? These are obvious differences. So one of the reasons why Mendel chose to do his experiment on pea plants is that one of them is tall, the other is short, one of them is
Because they are
was purple
different.
flower, the other was white flower. They are different, but they are obviously different. Do you get it now? Like there is obvious differences between both of them.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, you
yes.
can see how obvious it is. You can see how different it is, whether it's going to be tall or it's going to be short, okay? The
Okay.
Okay.
second reason is that pea plants are self-pollinated. Can someone guess what do we mean by self-pollinated?
It pollinates itself. It doesn't need something to pollinate it.
Oh my god, that's a big one for you. Is this Am?
No, Tanahi.
Tanah, yes, big one for you, Tanah. You and Am will share the same voice? Or do I think so?
You think I don't know.
It's the problem with Zoom is that doesn't show me who's talking. Sometimes it shows me, sometimes it doesn't. So that's why I cannot know all of your voices, guys. I'm so sorry about that. But yes, thank you, Talahi. Yes, that's right. Self-pollinated means it does not need anything to pollinate it. Like the pollen moves from the anther or the part of the flower responsible for growing pollen into the same female parts in the same flower, okay? Because we learned the last year, guys, just give me a minute. I will try to show you something
Miss,
else. Yes?
but how does it? I I, I know that the self-pollinated means to pollinate itself. But
Who's
how does
talking?
it
Is it
pollinate?
Tanahi or Amu? Because,
Tanahi, Tanahi.
okay,
But how
Tanahi.
does it pollinate without a bee?
It does it by itself. I will show you a video about this, okay? It could be a little bit, what do we say? Confusing, but it's so easy to be done like this way. Let me show you. The pollen actually grows on anthers, and anthers are sometimes a little bit taller than stigma. So basically what happens is that the pollen falls on the stigma inside the same flower. Just let me show it to you. Give me a minute. I will stop sharing so I can open different files in my laptop.
Okay.
I forgot to prepare this PowerPoint before we started. I had a problem in opening it, so let me open it for you. This one actually is for grade 3, the PowerPoint I'm going to share with you now, but it shows how pollination goes on. I'm sorry, it's for grade 4, it shows how pollination goes on. It was for you actually, remember? How you remember it?
Yes, I still remember this lesson.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me start with the report. Yes, here it is, pollination. And pollination means the movement of pollen from the male parts to the female parts. You can see in here a pea. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes, can you
Yes.
see how pollen covers its body?
Yes.
So this is what we call
Is these dots
cross-pollination.
on?
Yes, these dots are the pollen. They are so small. So before that, we must know that some flowers carry both male and female parts. Others are only male and only female. Okay. But some flowers carry both male and female parts. In order to make a seed, for those who did not learn about this last year, like the newcomers, if you guys did not hear about this before, in order to make a seed, we need male and female 6 cells. Okay, male 6 cells come from the male parent or the father, the same as we do a baby, the same for making a baby. We need male and female 6 cells also. But in flowers, we call the male 6 cells, or we find the male 6 cells in some structure called pollen, and the female 6 cells found in an egg inside something called ovary, okay, which is in the female parts. Okay, guys, are you with us?
Yes.
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 So what happens is that in order for the seed to be made, the pollen from the stamen or the male parts need to move into the stigma, this opening, okay, which is a part in the female part. In here, can you see it, Tanahi? I'm sorry, it moved into another slide. Can you see it, Tanahi? Can you see what happened? Let me share
Yes.
it again. Yes. So what happened in here is that pollen moved from the male parts, the tall ones in here on the left, both those things on the left with the yellow endings, those are the male parts, so they produce the male 6 cells in structures called pollen. And this pollen will move into stigma, which is the first part of the female reproductive system, and then join the egg inside the ovary. So this is what we call self-pollination. Guys, look carefully on this picture. You can see how pollen moved on the stigma. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see this one? Let me move this.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
it suddenly stopped.
I know, I stopped it. I stopped it so you can see it with more details, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now the pollen will move down into what we call style, and then into the ovary where eggs are found, okay? These eggs cannot be seeds without being fertilized by the pollen, okay? The same
Okay.
for a baby. Every female person carries an egg or makes an egg every once in the and every few every month, okay, and this egg needs to be fertilized with the male 6 cells in order to make a baby, okay, to make a one cell, and then this cell will make new cells until it grows into a fetus or a baby inside her stomach or her uterus. The same happens for the seeds. In order to make a seed, this seed is actually made up of both egg, which is a female 6 cell, carries the female 6 cell, and pollen, which carries the male 6 cell. Okay, guys?
Okay, miss.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes. So now let's see how the
Okay.
pollen will join the egg in here. And these are the cell or the productive cell. Okay? Joining and fertilizing the eggs, making a seed. Can you see the seeds?
Yes.
Yes, inside the ovary. After the seeds are made, the ovary will swell up and turn into a fruit, carrying the seeds inside of it. That's why we find the seeds inside the fruits. Can you guys now imagine what goes on?
Yes, no.
Yes.
And we eat a flower.
Yeah. But it's not a flower now, it's not a flower anymore. It became a fruit.
Okay.
And you basically eat the ovary, inside the flower, okay? This part, guys, you're not asked to learn about this part. I'm just making a small reminder for you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what happens in here is self-pollination. That means that only the flower will carry, the new flowers will carry the same genes or the same traits from parent flower. No variations, no different genes. Not like in here, when bees and wind, water helps in pollination. What's going on here is that the bee will carry pollen from one flower to another flower. So that means that the new seeds will carry traits from both different
Miss,
plants.
does the bee, Miss, does
Yes.
the bee means to do that, or she hit the flower and she moves without meaning?
Well, she does not mean to do this. It's kind of a natural job for it. But without bees, it's we'll never have flowers anymore. But it does it because the flower stands on. I'm sorry, the bee stands on the flower in order to get the nectar. Do you know the nectar? اللي هو رحيق اللي هو زي العسل. The
Yes,
honey
yes.
Yes.
or this sweet liquid produced by flowers. So bees
Yes.
stand on the flowers in order to get this nectar, okay? And during this job, the pollen sticks to its body. So when the bee moves to another flower, this pollen will fall on the stigma and then make a new seed. Do you get it now? So it's not like the bee knows, but I think the bees knows what they should do. But they were born with this job, they did not choose
Yes.
it. Other
Okay.
animals do the same job, by the way, like animals moving between different plants do the same job. Like this pollen sticks to their bodies without them knowing that, and it falls into another flowers.
Because they
Okay.
can't even see it.
Yes. So pollen will find any way to move from one flower to another. It could be also by wind, okay?
Okay.
It could also be, I'm sorry, I'm moving upwards. It could be by wind, by water. See this one? All of this is pollen. Do you know that?
She's pollen?
Yeah, this is
How?
a flying pollen. Do you know that?
Flying pollen.
No,
Yeah, but
I don't
pollen
know that.
cannot fly.
Miss,
So
Miss,
guys, be
but where is?
careful. Pollen cannot fly. The wind moves it. Also by water. Pollen can move by water. So anyway, back to the lesson we're talking about. So now you guys get what do we mean by self-pollinated and cross-pollinated?
Yes.
Yes. So in the self-pollination, like the picture on the right, that means the traits will be passed from the pollen to the stigma into the eggs, but all of this happens in the same flower. So the tall plants will always produce seeds with tall plants, right? And the short plants will always make short plants. No difference in traits, no different flowers. Do you guys get it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But in the cross pollination, there could be variations or differences in the traits because now the pollen is moving from one flower to another. So these are different traits. Yeah, you are breeding different flowers. So we'll get different traits in the young plants. Okay? So now we learned that Mendel had two reasons to pick pea plants for his experiment. The first one is pea plants have
Because they're
distinctive
different.
features, yes, or obvious differences, or they have so you can differences you can see easily
Okay.
see. And the second one is that they are self-pollinated, which made sure that they will not get any traits from any other flower. Okay, guys? So they will not mix
Okay.
traits without him knowing that. He needed to control pollination. He needed to control how traits are passed
Okay.
for his experiment. Okay? So what he did, guys, is that he got both of the plants, the one with purple flower, the tall one, and the short one. Okay? And in the short one, if you can see, let me zoom in, he cut the answer, which was responsible for making the pollen. So now this white flower cannot make seeds because it doesn't contain pollen. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
what he did is that he get the pollen from the other flower with a painting brush, and put it on the stigma on the other flower. So he
Miss,
made
but
a cross-pollination now. Can you guys see it?
yes, but
It
Miss,
was the
it must.
first time for pea plants to be cross-pollinated.
But yeah,
Yes,
the
Tanahi.
pea, the other small pea plant will not be grown well
No, they will
because of.
grow and make seeds, but now they will have traits from another flower. That was so interesting for him. Now he wanted to see how the offsprings will look like. Will they be tall? Will they be short? Will they be something in between? Do you get it now?
Okay, okay,
Yes.
Yes.
good.
But it was so surprising for him. So surprising for him. Because those are the same tall and short plants. Those are the parent plants. Okay, guys? So what was so surprising for him is that the first generation, the first seeds he got from this experiment, from cross-pollinating the tall plant and the short plant, is that all of them were tall plants. That was shocking for him. Like, he breeded one tall and one short, but what he got was only tall plants. So what should he do about this? He did another thing. He was so clever. He was so smart. Well, he left the first generation to self-pollinate. Okay? So he let the first generation to self-pollinate. So now he's not controlling anything. The plant will continue his life in his own way. He will self-pollinate. The pollen will move from the anther to the stigma in the same flower. Okay? And he waited for the results. He waited for the seeds and then he grew them up. What was also surprising, guys, that he
4
got
minutes remaining.
4 plants, 3 of them were tall and 1 was short. What? Where did short come from? Where do you think the short come from, guys?
From the mother, the short one,
Ah, where do you think the short was?
from the first generation.
From the parent generation. That's right. We can say the grandparents in this
The
case.
grandparents, yes.
Yes. So that's what he learned. That's what Mendel concluded. That's what he got from this experiment, is that traits are passed to us from our parents to us, or from grandparents to our parents and then to us. So some traits are so strong that they appear the most, or they are most expressed. Other traits are so weak that they are hidden inside of us. So the first generation were all tall plants, but
3 minutes remaining.
shortness was a hidden trait, did not appear on them. All of them were tall, because tall is actually called dominant trait. Dominant traits are strong traits, that they will appear the most, they will be the most to be expressed, they will appear more on the plants or on the offsprings. The short in this case was a recessive trait.
A recessive trait.
Yes, recessive trait, which means it's a weak one. It will only appear if there is no dominant trait with it. So the short plant in here only carries the short traits, does not carry tall traits now. Okay?
Yes, but maybe
Yes.
it have green peas and the curvy pea.
It could, yes, it could. We're talking about tallness only now because, traits are so confusing actually at the moment. Like, yes, some of them maybe carry, yellow seeds with wrinkled structures. Others maybe with a round one, but they are green. So yes, they will make difference.
No,
Yes,
I
different
mean
colors of
maybe
flowers. Yes.
maybe it's short like the first short one, and have another things like the first tall one.
Maybe, yes. But what Mandel did is that he focused on how tall or short they are, because that was an obvious thing, the most obvious thing, okay? And the traits that cause them to be tall or short are different than the traits that made a purple flower, white flower, like you are humans. The traits responsible for our eyes are not the same that responsible for our skin color, not the same responsible for our hair color. So each one has its own traits. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So some of
Okay.
these traits can skip generations. Okay, now guys, we have less than a minute, so I'll have to be moving a little bit faster. So what we learned about now is tallness is a dominant trait, shortness is a recessive trait. You will have another video, okay, talking about this. Dominant traits like having brown eyes, rolling tongue, having free ear lobe, right-handed, being right-handed, all of those are dominant traits, okay? Okay, guys? Guys can hear
Okay.
me?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's why most
Yes.
people carry brown eyes, others can roll their tongues. That's why we can find a lot of people with brown eye, because brown eyes is a dominant trait. It's a strong one that appears the most. I will upload a video right now for you guys to see on the SMS so you can see it at the end of the day. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. See you
Okay.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Babola.